Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. You're watching DESITVUSA and I'm Dr. Sahrish. Let's have a quick look on today's latest news. United Nations Secretary-General Antonio Guterres speaks to reporters about the situation in Afghanistan ahead of a meeting of the group of 20 countries.
Were provided with livelihood support. 12,000 people received emergency psychosocial and mental health support. 186,000 drought-affected people received water, and 150,000 people received hygiene promotion and hygiene kits. Last week alone, WFP conducted simultaneous food distributions in Kabul, Herat, Mazar, and Kandahar in a single day. WHO delivered medical supplies to treat 10,000 people with acute watery diarrhea and opened 2 new COVID-19 labs. More than 170 UNFPA-supported family health houses in remote areas were provided medical supplies for services through the end of the year. These facilities, on average, enable around 11,000 safe birth deliveries each year. UNFPA also delivered emergency reproductive health kits for 3,100 women in Kandahar Regional Hospital and Kunduz Regional Hospital. UNHCR, UNICEF, and NGO partners reached well over 36,000 displaced and vulnerable Afghans during this week with core relief items and cash assistance.
Nobel Prize winner Guido W. Imbens will hold a virtual news conference. He, along with David Card and Joshua D. Angrist, was awarded for work that dramatically shifted understanding of inequality and the social and economic forces that impact low-wage workers.
So now I'd like to ask President Tessia Levine to make some comments. Mark.
Well, good morning, and thank you for joining us as we congratulate Guido Imbens on his remarkable achievement in economics. All of us at Stanford are incredibly proud of Professor Imbens, and we're delighted that his accomplishments have been recognized by the Nobel Committee. Guido Imbens has provided important insights into how to derive causal inferences from natural experiments, observational studies of situations that arise in real life. With his fellow laureates, Joshua Angrist and David Card, he's shown how such real-world experiments can lead to precise conclusions and answer important questions for society, like the effect of new government regulations on broader economic outcomes. The real-world impact has been profound and far-reaching. Professor Imbens has worked with policymakers to design and evaluate economic policy interventions in areas such as education and labor. His methodology has also been implemented beyond the field of economics and is used by researchers in the social sciences broadly. As we seek solutions to our society's great challenges, from economic and educational inequality,
Labor economist and professor of economics at the University of California, David Card, will host a virtual news conference after winning the 2021 Nobel Memorial Prize in Economic Sciences. He, along with Joshua D. Angrist and Guido W. Imbens, was awarded for work that dramatically shifted understanding of inequality and the social and economic forces that impact low-wage workers.
I think, for instance, in the area of the minimum wage, there's been just an enormous amount of research in the last 25 years following the work that I did with Alan Kruger, and not just in the United States, but in other countries. And I think reevaluating that evidence and thinking about it carefully and evaluating the whole thing from a more scientific view, not from an ideological point of view, I think is helpful and could be useful. But I'm not particularly optimistic that views on topics like the minimum wage or immigration, the simple kinds of things that economists bring to the table and the kinds of knowledge that we can bring are not necessarily the whole story. Fundamentally, if minimum wages go up, even if there's no employment effect, it's still the case that employers have lower profits. And so employers may say, well, we need our profits. So, there's a fundamental trade-off between workers' wages and employers' profits. And that isn't really something an economist can, we can say what the trade-off is, but we can't really say which way you should come down on that trade-off.
A large number of Native Americans and supporters of environmental advocacy organizations are rallying near the White House on Indigenous Peoples Day. The organizing group People vs. Fossil Fuels says its supporters that many of the protesters intend to risk arrest. The 13th China-India military talks on the border demarcation in the Himalayan region of Ladakh also ended without any result. A conference of corps commander of the two countries was held on Sunday, in which no progress was made. A clash between Chinese and Indian troops over the Ladakh border dispute in June last year killed 20 Indian soldiers. The US and Afghan government have completed long-term talks in Doha. Issues including security, counterterrorism, human rights were discussed. The United States assured continued support to the Afghan people on humanitarian grounds. The United States demanded respect for women's rights. Senior leaders of ISIS arrested Iraqi Prime Minister Mustafa al-Kadhimi has announced that Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi's deputy Sami Jassim has been arrested in a complex and difficult operation. Sami was the head of the finance for the terrorist organization ISIS and provided money for various terrorist acts. After the United States, the United Kingdom also barred the citizens from visiting any hotel in Kabul, especially the Serena Hotel. Security agencies of the both countries have expressed security concerns at the Serena Hotel. Security has been beefed up around the Serena Hotel, with the United States and the United Kingdom urging their citizens to leave the hotel immediately. 5 Indian soldiers, including an officer, were killed in an attack during a search operation in Poonch district of Occupied Kashmir in Sarnkot. Indian troops were besieging and conducting house-to-house searches when they were suddenly attacked, killing 5 Indian soldiers. An Indian military spokesman said more troops had been sent to the area and clashes were ongoing. Zabiullah Mujahid said the United States and the international community should recognize the new government of Afghanistan. An important meeting of top officials of the two countries was held in Doha, in which Afghan Foreign Minister Amir Ali Muttaqi called on the United States to recognize the new Afghan government and restore the Afghanistan's frozen assets. Ministry of Foreign Affairs said Pakistan strongly condemns arrest for over 1,400 Kashmiris on orchestrated charges by the Indian occupation forces in the Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir. Pakistan strongly condemns the arrest of over 1,400 Kashmiris on false charges in one of the biggest ever crackdowns in the Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir. These arbitrary arrests and detentions by Indian occupation forces are prime examples of India's state terrorism and trampling of fundamental human rights in IIOJK. The recent surge in extrajudicial killings, stacked cordon and search operations, and arbitrary arrests in IIOJK are a source of serious alarm for the international community. Last month, Pakistan unveiled a comprehensive dossier comprising irrefutable evidences of gross and systematic human rights violations, war crimes, and false flag operations in IIOJK being carried out by the Indian occupation forces with impunity. India must recognize that no amount of brutalization of Kashmiris can suppress their voice and the legitimate movement to achieve their inalienable right to self-determination, nor will India's illegal and unlawful actions be able to mislead the world into accepting India's false narrative against the Kashmiris. That's all for now. Keep watching DESITVUSA and don't forget to click our link tree to explore the world of social media. Thank you.